Okay, I just got back from seeing The Flash, and actually, it was good. It's the perfect example of a bad DC movie turning into a good DC movie, which is kind of what the DCU is about to do. It's going from bad to hopefully what will be good. I'm gonna judge it on 4 categories: pacing, CGI in action, dialogue, and the payoff. The pacing was great. I never felt like it really dragged. Every single scene that was playing, I was like really getting into, and I wanted to keep watching more. I never felt bored. It definitely carried me along pretty damn well. I will say the beginning was a little, but once they got past the beginning, the middle really shined. And the end, it just kept going. The pacing overall was super duper good. I think you're gonna agree with that. The story takes a little bit of a backseat towards the end, but that's good because at that point I was kind of looking forward to seeing more combat instead of like story heavy stuff. The CGI though, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It kind of looked like a bunch of Play-Doh. But I will say there's tons of CGI in this movie, and the action scenes where it really counts to have good CGI, they nailed it. I never really felt like it was super Play-Doh-y. It did look pretty good. There are some parts, but I found myself being so exposed to the Play-Doh-ness that after a moment I got over it and I started just seeing the movie for what it was and looking at the story, and it was good. I know that sounds weird. You can't just get over the Play-Doh-ness, but you'll see for yourself. It's almost as if they dive into it and sit in a whole Play-Doh field. I do really like some touches, like when the Flash is in the Speed Force. Watch his legs. I feel like that is super amazing. Although I will say there's a scene in the very beginning when the Flash runs, and for me, it was so weird. The CGI looked really cringy. Speaking of the beginning, we move into dialogue here, and the dialogue in the beginning of the movie was awful. I honestly felt like I crapped my pants in front of everybody, and I was sitting in it, and everybody could tell that I crapped my pants because it was so damn cringy. I wanted to get up and leave, but I forced myself to stay because really, it was not good. Luckily, the dialogue does get better, and you start taking the characters more seriously. You start appreciate the characters for what they are, and it becomes a really good time. There's a moment in movies where if it's too cringy, you know that you're there, you're not sucked into the movie. I'm happy to say that for me, at least after 1/3 of the movie, I was completely sucked in. I was really into the dialogue. It never felt corny. There are times where one of the flashes, which we've seen in the trailers, hopefully I'm not spoiling anything, one of the flashes that we've seen in the trailers has a different personality, and it might seem like the dialogue is cringy, but it also feels like it goes with the character of what they should say, and you start accepting that too. So 1/3 of the way through, dialogue gets really good all the way to the end of the movie. Now the payoff in this movie was definitely satisfying. Even though it was slightly predictable, it was really nice seeing, if you can predict what the ending will be, it was nice seeing all the bits and pieces being brought together for what the reveal and the big twist is. And the big twist is exciting. It leaves you with a bunch of questions that you start asking yourself previously of the movie, and when you dive into those questions, the movie tends to answer them back. So why did this happen? What happened here? Blah, blah, blah. You start getting those questions, and it feels good. I will say, the payoff for what the future of the DCU is, it's so vague. You have no idea what to expect for the future of the DCU. I definitely thought this movie was going to pave the way and give us a big hint of what to expect, but as if right now, it's all up in the air. I got no clue. Before I give the final score, I want to say that there's major cameos that are really fun and exciting. I would say about 2 to 3 of them. And there is one post-credit scene, but it doesn't really tell you about the future. It's more of like a comedic one. So I definitely think this one is worth leaving the theater if you don't care about post-credit scenes and you only want actual meat. But since this one's purely comedic, you could probably leave and look it up later. So overall, I really think there's some exciting storytelling going on in The Flash. There are really some genius moments that tie in together emotionally and timeline-wise, and with the idea of time, because obviously The Flash goes back in time. But how they play around with it is really exciting. After it's all said and done, I gotta give the CGI a 6.5 out of 10. I gotta give the dialogue a 7.5 out of 10. I'll give the payoff a 9 out of 10, and I'll give the pacing a 9 out of 10. Which leads us to a final score of 8 out of 10. I definitely think that you should go see this in movie theaters. I think it was really worth it, and it's a great ending to what we knew was a DCU, and could be a great start to the new DCU. So Yeah. That's it for the review. I hope you guys enjoy. Like, subscribe. I will be seeing you guys around. Let me know if there's a different movie or show that you want me to review. And yeah, talk to you later. Peace.